What is up, hooligans? Happy Freedom Friday. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, then we'll go ahead and get her started. There's no KJP today. I just found out like 10 minutes ago. It's a holiday weekend. I didn't even realize. It's Labor Day weekend. I don't know if it's here, start tomorrow, something. I just found out. I didn't even realize. Well, we're going to be starting off with an interesting video and an image. Apparently YouTube is rolling out community guideline training because they have so many fucking community guidelines that you got to take training now. So if you want to be a creator on YouTube, get ready to take communist guidelines training. So stupid. There's no other platform that I have to take training to know how I'll be abused as a creator. Jesus Christ loves us. YouTube, you really outdo yourself. They're like, here, let me show you how to put the shackles on. Let's just get it on. Now throw the key. No, you got to throw it harder than that, Timmy. You got to get it out of reach so you stay shackled up. Okay, let me show you how to do this. Play some light music in the background so it's festive. I don't know. I hate YouTube so much. They're so bad for us. Drinking. Never mind. Anyways, then we'll be moving on to a video titled Learning to Detect and Avoid Fake News, which it's actually a lot better than the title sounds. Calling out the lefties on all the news squads, talking that crap, selling that the Asian guy is the face of white supreme pizza, all the good stuff. It's a pretty good video to watch. Then we have a Ted Nugent video. This is an embarrassing time in America, says Ted Nugent. It's a plethora of subjects and whatnot. It's Ted Nugent, okay? You know what you're in for. Then we have a video titled Biden Ripped for Forgetting East Palestine Resident. I don't have hope anymore. I think he's a doctor. He's been on Fox or Newsmax or whatever like 3 times. He's on there again. People in East Palestine, Ohio are still not doing well. Old man Walter will never make his way over there. They're just waiting for those people to grow a third arm out of their chest and keel over. It's going to look like Fallout. Fallout's going to start in East Palestine. They're not trying to fix that at all. Then we'll be wrapping things up with a video titled, Could Robots Replace Guide Dogs for the Blind? I don't know why we need that. I mean, I guess I could kind of see some benefits to it. Like maybe the robot could talk where your dog probably doesn't talk. But I feel a lot of guide dog stuff also comes with companionship. You trust the dog trusts you. You gotta have a relationship. You're not alone in this battle. This dog's here to help you. You're not gonna get that from a robot dog. Like, you're not gonna get anything kind of sort of like that. So I don't know. It seems like they're trying to fix something that ain't broken, but that's just my opinion. I'm a little bit biased against the whole AI robot thing. I don't think it's going to do us any good. YouTube's ran by robots, and look how that's going. So, I don't know. I'm biased. But either way, we're going to read through the chats, make sure everything is good to go, then we're going to go ahead and get her started. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Donna Sparks? What's up, Annette? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Matt? Welcome to the live. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm still working on the chat over there. It's been a crazy busy week, but I'm going to eventually make it so the font is bigger over there. I'm going to try and change the font as well to make it a little bit clearer. There's only so much I can change in this chat without restructuring the whole thing, but I'm going to try and make some improvements over there on the website, probably over the weekend. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? Happy Freedom. What's up, Astro Hammer? What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Girth? What's up, Serum? What's up, Breezy? What's up, Jeb? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Seppa? What's up, Shannon? Appreciate all of you being here. What's up, Cricket Kiss? That sounds suspicious. Hopefully YouTube doesn't kick me in the gonads after that. What's up, D-Cat? Serum over here tagging me. The whole tag name thing on Rumble is quite an improvement. I wish they would get the predictive text for usernames on the chat, though. That's what I really wish they would do. Let's see. Serum Quartering made a video about how YouTube is deleting subscribers, shadow banning, etc. So you're not alone. Awesome. It's not awesome, but it's thank you for bringing that to my attention. I actually want to go watch that video, because I've realized, although I've had hooligans write me and say, hey, you know, being demonetized is kind of the best thing that ever happened to you. Your show's great now. It's like Jeff Mac unrestricted. The subscribers are still just tanking over on YouTube, and I don't care as much now that YouTube doesn't support what I do in any kind of fashion. I focus mainly on the website and Rumble and what all of you hooligans are interested in and what your needs are and stuff, way more than YouTube. I didn't even read the YouTube chat maybe 3 times yesterday. I don't even look at it because it's terrible. I can't stand YouTube. Anybody that really supports the live watches on the platforms that support the live. So I just kind of ignore YouTube. We just go live over there so the bells ring and people know we're live. Otherwise, I don't even pay any attention to YouTube. But I will go watch that video because I want to see somebody else's experience as a YouTube creator, which is like, I'm waiting for my reparations at this point. What's up, Baby Boomer? Happy Freedom. Just reading down the list here. What's up, Elder Zoomer? What's up, Elisa? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Melissa? What's up, Pickle Fingers? What's up, TJ? What's up, Astral Hammer? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Baby Boomer, Rumble is getting better on notifications. Today it was only around 15 minutes after the stream started. Well, it sends a notification when I create the live, and then it should send a notification when I actually start the live. So maybe you're looking at the notification for when I created the live, because there is a separation. I'm not sure. Well, I think they do that on YouTube also. Because, what's his name? Steve Oatley, I think his name is. He pre-schedules his live. So a lot of times I'll get a notification for him and it'll be like, it's, he's going live in 30 minutes. And then I'll get a second notification for him. So I think that's what you're experiencing with the Rumble situation there. DCAT, hey, it's Jeff coming at you live from West Michigan today. I know, I used to actually think of taglines like that all the time when I thought I was going to work on the radio. I was trying to get my Rush Limbaugh stuff going, but no, they didn't hire me at the radio station. Once I started asking about the legality of their music licenses and stuff, they were like, nah, we gotta get this guy the fuck out of here. He's gonna tell on us. We're ripping artists off. So they kicked me out. What's up, DeRosa? What's up, everyone over on Kick? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. YouLube. Yeah, that's GoofTube over there. Yep. It is what it is. I wish it wasn't that way. It runs smoothly and all that. That's where everybody hangs out. It's not good, though. It's not good. It's like going to a pimp to find a girlfriend. Yeah, you're going to get some attention, but it's not the attention you want. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? Happy Freedom. What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Matt? What's up, Podcast Gel? Elisa, you're omnipresent. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? Elisa, can you play music in the background on Twitch? Sort of. Twitch has weird copyright guidelines as well. I've had a couple live streams muted. Some music happened in the background. I think one time we were watching Orange Eagle Rally and they played the intro music and I didn't mute it. I just let it play. And Twitch muted my entire live stream. Like from that point on, it was just muted. And I had to restart the whole live. So, I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss. I think their copyright license stuff changed though, because I want to say the last time we had a Orange Eagle Rally, I didn't mute any of it. We just heard the intro music and everything, and I don't think I got any penalties. So it's kind of hard to tell. Twitch is hit or miss, and they're not forgiving at all. I'm already like 2 strikes in since 2020. They don't expire. I get another strike, Twitch will be gone forever, which is why I encourage everybody who's on Twitch to move over to Kick, because it's exactly like Twitch without the communist guidelines. Let's see. Alice, I don't... Is it Alice or is it Elise? I'm so bad with names. I don't get why you can't. It's not like people are going to be using Stream to listen to music for free like pirated. They do, though. They kind of do. People will create live streams where it just plays a playlist and it'll have some animation or something on the screen, but you're just listening to almost like online radio, but you're not paying the artist for that music. That's why it's a copyright infringement, because technically it's a public performance of someone else's copyrighted work. You're playing a playlist of music you didn't create to the public where they don't have to pay to listen to it. They just watch your live stream that's publicly available, which is what makes it a public performance of music that you don't own the copyrights to. So that's why it's like that. Alice. But they can't check and see if it's coming from the background though. No, it's not advanced at all. That's why I keep getting strikes, even though I've never gotten a strike for anything I actually did. Every strike I've ever gotten was because we watched a video or we watched a live stream and something happened in the background, or some other person that's not here with me had said something and I caught a strike for it. Even though I'm reviewing content, they don't get penalized, I do. And the music copyright goes the same way. A car drives by in the background, somebody drove outside my house with the music loud enough and the microphone hears it, I'm catching a strike. Like, they don't care. They don't care. It's a tricky song and dance I do up here. What's up, everyone who's left over on YouTube? What's up, X? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Leonardo? What's up, Tom Star? What's up, Matthew? What's up, Amy? What's up, Dad? Happy Freedom. What's up, Norman? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Grey Wolf? Appreciate all of you guys being here. What's up, 24/7? What's up, Billy T? Happy laboring. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's a holiday weekend. I can't even believe it's September. I feel like it was just a little bit ago. I was waiting for April to pass by. This year is going by so fast. Pretty soon I'll be paying taxes again. You know how fun that is. Love you too, Dad. What's up, Spirit? What's up, Anthony? What's up, GG? Cricket Kiss, you're omnipresent. Oh, you know what it needs over here on YouTube. Besides a swift kick in the ass. Big ol' fat rumble link. Well, that's what you need. Let's see. Ka-chow. I did it. I did the thing. If I could pin it. Can we pin it? Did they remove the emoji thing from the chat? Or is it because I got the screen all zoomed in? I think they removed the little goofy thing. Weird. Weird, they took the little emoji off the chat. Or at least what I'm looking at, there's no emoji. I wonder if there was enough complaints about it that they actually removed it. I thought it was kind of cool, but there was a lot of complaints that it was in the way. It was in the way of the chat. What's up, Amy? Happy Freedom. What's up, enter username? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Steve? All these people right at the end. Crept in right at the end. What's up, Jerry? Appreciate you being here. Alright, we're gonna get started. First, I'm gonna show you guys this image that I came across. It's not spicy. I know you guys are like, ooh la la. But no, it's not like that. Okay, before we get started, I've got to remind you guys, I'm terrible with advertisement. Go get you a free The Orange Eagle t-shirt over at the merch store. If that's not your style, you can go get you a Screaming Goat t-shirt. Big freedom bars on the top. I dig it. I'm going to get me a Screaming Goat t-shirt. Probably both. I've been trying to save money. The demonetization is hurting me more than you guys know. Let's do this. Maybe this will be better. So anyways, I was scrolling through my YouTube studio, check out my copyrights, all the people who have unsubscribed from that channel, my views dropping, and all the other bad news that I see every single time I go to the YouTube studio. But I seen this off into the corner. This is a news thing. They have a little thing off to the side to tell you, hey, we got ideas for you to make better content and da-da-da-da-da. And this was one of the suggestions there is Community Guidelines Warning Update. Creators will soon have the option to take a policy training for new and existing warnings. Completing the training will remove the warning in 90 days and help creators navigate our policies. And I thought, what the hell is that? So I clicked on the learn more. Now, as of right now, when you get your first strike on YouTube, you're just a little baby creator. You just started off, just learning to walk and whatnot. And you cross that line. For the very first time, they give you a big strike message, and they say, normally we'd be cutting your toes off right now, but since you're a new baby, and you don't know what you're doing, we're just going to give you a warning. So I've had a warning on my account since 2020 that's permanent. You cannot remove it. This new program they're starting is making it so you can remove it, because every strike after the warning is an actual strike with a very heavy penalty. So this is implying that if you do get the warning, you can take training to teach you to be less white or something. I don't know. And then that will take that warning away. And if you catch another strike within that 90 days, you just get a strike, even though you took the training and you were conditioned to get used to being punished with community guidelines. So I clicked learn more on that little square thing that I just showed you. And it brought me to this video here. This is what the title is and all that nonsense. And the comments full of bots. It's full of bots. Oh my God, YouTube, we love you so much. We love you so much. You're so great, YouTube. But anyways, this is the video that takes you on the experience journey of what it would be like in the future on YouTube with your training and your conditioning. So we're gonna watch this video really quick so everybody knows what the fuck I have to go through just to provide live content on YouTube.
We understand that getting a YouTube community guideline strike can be disappointing and worrying for creators. We know that creators often don't break the rules intentionally and just want to get back to making great content. That's why we've put together options for you to learn about our guidelines and resolve warnings you receive when violations do happen. Let's walk you through what each of these options are and what they mean for you and your channel. First, a quick reminder about what community guidelines are. YouTube's community guidelines outline what type of content is and isn't allowed on YouTube. There are a number of community guidelines, such as our impersonation policy, child safety policy, harassment policy, and many more. And these policies apply to all types of content on YouTube and help ensure our community stays protected. So now, let's walk through what happens if you violate YouTube's community guidelines and some options you have when violations happen. We've designed a system with guardrails in place to ensure creators have sufficient opportunities to learn from mistakes and make more informed decisions about their content without fear of penalty. When you violate one of our community guidelines, you'll first receive a warning. Once you're notified about your warning, you can review it to find out what policy you violated and what next steps you can take. You'll have 3 options. Option 1, you can take a policy training, which will allow your warning to expire after 90 days if you don't violate that same policy again within that time frame. Option 2, you can appeal the warning if you think the violation was given incorrectly. Or
of course, your appeal will be rejected.
And keep the lifetime warning on your channel. Note that there's also flexibility with these options. You can choose to take the training and still also decide to appeal. Or, if you appeal and it's rejected, you can still take the training at that point. In the cases where you choose not to appeal, or you don't successfully appeal, we strongly encourage creators to take the training because it comes with additional benefits. It not only allows you to potentially remove the current warning from your channel, but it also grants you an additional warning if you violate a different community guideline.
Oh, extra warnings.
More opportunities.
Yay.
And avoid account restrictions in the future. Let's walk through an example of what this looks like. Let's say you violate one of our community guidelines for the first time. You'll receive a warning and you'll be presented with the 3 options. If you complete the training and don't receive any community guidelines violations for any policies within 90 days, your warning will expire and you'll be back to good standing. If you complete the training and you do receive a community guideline violation for a different policy within 90 days, you'll receive another warning and you'll have the chance to take a new training specifically for that policy. If you choose to not take the training and do nothing, any additional violation for any policy will result in a community guideline strike. Note that after your warning, if you do violate the same policy again within 90 days, you will receive a community guideline strike, even if you completed the training. Remember, if you originally decide to do nothing but then change your mind, you'll always have the opportunity to appeal or to take the training. Now let's walk through what happens when you get a community guideline strike. On your first strike, you won't be able to upload, stream, or make certain edits on your channel for 1 week after you review the strike. After the 1 week period, we restore full privileges automatically, but the strike remains on your channel for 90 days. If you get a second strike within the same 90-day period as your first strike, you will not be allowed to post content for 2 weeks. If there are no further issues after the 2-week period, we restore full privileges automatically. Each strike will not expire until 90 days from the time it was issued. 3 strikes in the same 90-day period results in your channel being permanently removed from YouTube. We understand mistakes happen, and many creators don't violate our policies intentionally. So we hope this system gives creators the chance to learn more about our community guidelines, to help prevent violations moving forward, and to keep our YouTube community safe. To learn more about community guidelines and their enforcement, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching.
We need 3 of them. We need 3 of them. My God, that just made me want to not be here on this side of the earth anymore. So, now you guys got a little peek into what it's like to be a creator over on YouTube. Oh, it's terrible. So, out of all that nice little fancy talk and presentation they just did, really the only changes that they're making is that now you can take training. You already can do an appeal, and it will be slapped down as hard as they can. I mean, they don't waste any time. Not when it's me anyways. It used to be something where it was like 50-50. I'd write an appeal out. I'd even quote federal laws and their codes and all this stuff and say, these are the laws you're breaking by taking my content down and why I'm within my right to use this content and all this stuff. And I would win. I would win. But after what happened in 2020 and I started showing those hearings, talking about the irregularities that happened during that whole process, after that point they stopped allowing my appeals to go through. They completely shut it down. I'll make an appeal, and before I leave the YouTube studio it will already be rejected. And it doesn't matter. And you guys have seen my disclaimers in the description, you know, caution, you might see crazy graphic content and this, that, and the other. It's because they told me to do that. They told me that it would help prevent strikes on my account, to give a warning. Hey, you might see some spicy stuff here. You might see some stuff that may be considered misinformation, but don't take it as misinformation. Just take it as entertainment. And they told me to do all that, and then they still would give me strikes for the same stuff. For the same stuff. I've gotten like 15 strikes for misinformation, but I just space it out enough to where it doesn't take me out. It doesn't take me out. I just had a strike lifted, I think, in April. Now I'm demonetized. I can't even reapply till October when I'm paying student loans back and stuff like that. Now you can take training. Think about how that's going to go. The appeal process is already like knocking on a door that's standing out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing on the other side of the door. You're knocking for no reason. The appeal system goes to an AI. They send it off to an AI. The AI goes, nope, you didn't tell me that you vote for blue team. Yeah, blow team. And then they slap your appeal down. They say, take the strike, eat shit. Your viewers will unsubscribe to your channel. We'll help them unsubscribe. We'll shadow ban you. And then we'll see you in 2 weeks and see how you do then. The punishments are super harsh over on YouTube. Well, now you can take training. So you can know why they hate you. And you can know what you're not allowed to do. And they'll probably still give you strikes. You'll take their happy camp training. They'll condition you to being abused, because that's what they're doing. They're abusing you. You are being mistreated, and you can't even legally do anything about it because the Section 230 gives them the right to step on your constitutional rights. It says right in Section 230, they have the right to take down your content, even if it is constitutionally protected. They can take it down. That's communism. That's communism, and they don't care. So now you can take training. So you can be more informed when you're having your rights stepped on. I'm not with it. I was not impressed with that at all. Not even a little bit. And I found it right after I went live yesterday. When I shut the live down, I saw it and I was like, oh no, I was screenshotting and saving stuff. No, the hooligans need to know. People need to know what it's like to be on YouTube. I don't just hate YouTube because I am a little outspoken and I get strikes for it. It's not that. It's being mistreated. The fact that I'm being treated differently than everybody else, that's what pisses me off. And then they castrated me while I was live. They waited for me to go live and then demonetized me in front of everybody. Fuck them. Fuck them, okay? I'm so over YouTube. I hate it. I hate it. We're going to read through the chat really quick and we're going to move forward. This next video is titled, Learning to Detect and Avoid Fake News. It's more of a TED Talk today than it's ever been. Let's see here. Let me zoom in on the chat so I can read the names here. What is your name? Oh, what's up, Chrissy Star? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being on the website. And at brainwashing. That's what it is. They're conditioning creators to accept these strikes. Don't talk like this. Don't say these things. Don't think these thoughts. Don't tell people the truth. No, I don't want that kind of training. I don't want that at all. I had to develop to become this. I used to just be a voice on the screen. I wasn't even on camera. I had to develop to be in where we are today. I don't want to be taught otherwise. You're smart. You know too much. You're too clever. Too well spoken. Shut the fuck up and go away. Here's your community guideline strike. That's how it goes. What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom. Hair Juicer rocking my goat shirt at work. You're awesome. You're awesome, Hair Juicer. I can't wait to get me a hoodie. It's what I want. And it's been about hoodie weather. It's all coming together now. It's all coming together. Just reading through the chat really quick. Melissa, I like your little... I don't know how to describe it. Flipping off YouTube without a pre-made emoji. I like your creative ability, Melissa. What's up, iFOMO? Happy freedom. You got demonetized over the Paris riots. It's because the government didn't want us to see the Paris riots. The best way to watch the Paris riots when it was still hot and steaming was on TikTok, because the government doesn't control TikTok yet. But everywhere else, it was hard to see. You can see a little bit on Twitter. Twitter and TikTok is kind of the only places where you can see stuff before it gets taken down. And TikTok is really just catching residual from, X. Twitter is catching residual from TikTok. All the information hits TikTok first, because that's what the young people use. Young people use TikTok. Young people are in the streets when stuff's happening. They know how to use a phone when stuff is happening. So TikTok is where the information starts. Then it trickles down to Twitter. Then it trickles to everywhere else. And then all the channels that showed it everywhere else, they all get strikes and community guidelines and get deleted and get removed. And so it's not really worth being anywhere other than Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, Twitter, and TikTok. And even TikTok is just hit or miss. Baby Boomer, I've noticed that GoofTube is increasingly becoming the channel of funny cat videos and old videos of recipes, auto repairs, and less about current events. Yes. That's pretty much all that's allowed there. They're going to start going after the ASMR people too. Because, well, the ASMR people and the gamers. Because what I got hit for, I got demonetized on YouTube for uploading other people's content. And it's not what it sounds like. I know everybody's like, well, yeah, you're showing news videos and stuff that you didn't create and da da da. That's not what they're actually accusing me of. They're accusing me of just going off into the internet, downloading a video, coming to my channel, uploading the video, and not touching it at all. No altering at all. Just uploading viral videos that I found other places. That's what they're accusing me of. Even though obviously that's not what happened. You know, like right now, this screen you're looking at, I made it. I made it from scratch. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And this screen you're looking at right now is in between all the news videos. So this live stream being one video is not like any other live stream on the platform. So their accusations are full of shit. Well, they're doing the same thing to the gaming community. If you play Fallout and somebody else plays Fallout on the live stream, a lot of what you see on the main screen is exactly the same, because it's exactly the same game. It's not stolen content. You're just playing the same game. Same thing as if you are reviewing a video like the Orange Eagles mugshot and you have it up on the screen, you're reviewing it, and 300 other channels are reviewing it. Same thing. They're demonetizing everyone for doing that because of the similarities. They're terrible over on YouTube. They're going to strike themselves out of existence. And then they'll be doing like corny advertisement and stuff like, hey, come back to YouTube. We'll even let you swear a little bit. Probably not, though. They just made new community guidelines against swearing, and they're also going to be taking links away, so you won't be able to post links on YouTube also. Yay. Fuck YouTube. Over it. So over it. iFOMO Jeff, please make it stop. I can't. I know. The video is awful. That's the third time I had to watch it. You guys only have to watch it once. What's up, Speedy Girl? Happy freedom. Just reading through the chat really quick before we move forward. I'm kind of surprised that you can still talk about God and stuff on YouTube. I bet that's next. I bet next they'll make it so you can't say God anymore. It'll be hate speech or something. Melissa, then they will adjust your social credit score. Yep. That's what they're working up to. DeRosa, YouTube University. Yep. That training thing is going to expand. It is going to expand. They're going to make that some sort of scapegoat for everything. Just like the appeal. They're like, oh, you got a strike? And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You let these people do it, but I'd do it, and you're giving me a strike. They're like, but did you appeal? And I'm like, no, it never goes through. They're like, well, you have to appeal. So then I appeal 2.5 hot seconds later. Rejected. I'm like, okay, I did it, and you guys rejected it. They're like, oh, that's too bad. Well, see you in 2 weeks. You know, fuck you, YouTube. So over it. They're going to make the training the same way. Did you appeal? Yeah, you guys rejected it. But did you take the training? Yeah, and now my brain's full of propaganda. Okay, well, you're still getting a strike, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for taking the training. I don't know. I don't have to take training for Rumble. I don't have to take training for the website. I'm not taking the damn training for YouTube. I'm over it. I hate it. Can't stand it. Podcast gel. God is racist. That's what they're going to say. I'm like, you're over here talking about God? I heard you say Jesus Christ loves us. That's hate speech. Here's 3 weeks. You're suspended. What did I do over here? Why is the chat all small? Ka-chow. This isn't the chat that you're looking for. Christine, in China, they do not talk politics, and they want that here. Could be. It could be. It's easier to control people when they don't know what's going on. Salt Ragu, and you used to be so quiet. Yes. I remember you guys being in the chat. Just be like, talk, Jeff. If you're a real person, speak. I would sit here for 10 hours and not say 3 things into the microphone. Because it wasn't about me. We were just watching the live. We were watching people burning cities down and stuff. I mean, what could I really add to it? Now I got sound effects and shit. It'd probably be awesome now. All right. Moving forward to this next video. It's titled, Learning to Detect and Avoid Fake News. This sounds like a title that would come out on CNN or something like that. But it's Newsmax. And it's pretty entertaining. Plus, I like that they bring up the shooter from the University of North Carolina or whatever, who's totally an Asian dude. But they tried to sell it to everyone as if he's the face of white supreme pizza. People are like, what? That guy? And so then the story died because nobody believes it. And that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading. All right, hooligans, let's get her started.
Journalists are supposed to report facts as they know them. They are supposed to give equal coverage to events, regardless of the events benefit one side of the political spectrum or the other. Largely, we don't have a fair press. Instead, we have left-wing dominated press. The lion's share of reporting that is done in this country is to discredit and frame conservatism in the worst possible light, and through selective storytelling, convince Americans that totalitarian rule, well, it really isn't that bad. Many of you might be asking, what's the difference between the majority of the press slanting their coverage toward putting a happy face on left-wing extremism and me, your liberty-loving Latino, extolling the virtues of conservatism in my story selection? Well, the answer is simple. I don't pretend I'm a journalist. I don't lie to my audience every day. I tell you up front, I'm a conservative, and I give my opinion on things. The biased press, on the other hand, are mostly left-wing extremists who put out their left-wing advocacy, but instead of admitting they are biased toward collectivism, they lie, claiming that what they're doing is journalism. Learning to detect and avoid fake news. That's the tip we provide in today's preamble. I'd like to introduce you to the new face of white supremacy, according to the bat guano crazy left-wingers. This is Tali Key, a PhD student in applied physics, who was identified as the suspected shooter at the University of North Carolina. Now, many of you might be wondering why you're not hearing much about this case these days. It's because the left-wing press had a hard time convincing even the most gullible news watcher that a brown Asian citizen of Wuhan, China was the face of white supremacy in America. He's from a communist country, after all. You know, most in the left-wing press and in the Democrat Party, they're in the middle of a love affair with the racist, genocidal slave state of China. So the story is dropped in deference to the left-wing narrative. If you watch the liberal biased press, CNN, MSNBS, the others, you might be wondering whatever happened to the reporting on the left-winger who shot up a bank in Louisville, Kentucky. The deranged shooter who murdered 5 of his co-workers and who identified his pronouns as he and him. He left 2 notes explaining his actions. The notes included the liberal narratives that he wanted to make sure got a lot of airtime, like the fiction that it's, quote, too easy, end quote, to buy a gun in America, especially for someone with mental problems. Clearly, this left-wing lunatic lied on his application by not reporting his mental issues. For the record, lying on a federal background check form is a federal crime unless your name is Hunter Biden. The biased press dropped the Nashville trans shooting story like a hot potato. According to reports, the FBI is helping him do it. As you all know, the trans shooter gunned down 6 Christians, 3 of them children. And by the way, horrific trans shooting happened just shortly after Hanoi Jane Fonda jumped on The View and called for the murder of those who don't believe in slaughtering babies in the womb through abortion on demand. You know, Christians. But back to the trans shooter. The shooter left a detailed manifesto. And the FBI and Nashville authorities are still withholding that manifesto, I suspect, because it would make one of the left's sacred cows look really bad. It would destroy their narrative. That's a sharp contrast to the flood of near instantaneous and continuous coverage of the Jacksonville shooter. Within hours, the biased press was yelling at the top of their lungs. They finally had a white shooter, and he fulfilled their narrative. He's a racist. He hates black people just as much as communist China does. Authorities were all too happy to help the press get as much information out there on this guy that they could. This story preserved the left-wing narrative. So the next time you tune into the biased press and you hear them pushing their narrative over news that America is racist and that whites are out there hunting people of color down and that the only solution to illegal shootings is to take everybody's guns away, everyone's except the government and the criminals, now you know what to do. Just turn that channel off.
Calling him out. I don't know who that guy is, but sounds about right. I think that's hilarious that they're trying to sell that story. Well, they were. I haven't seen it since it happened, but they were like, yeah, he left a manifesto and he's a racist white guy. I'm like, what do you mean? He's Asian. That guy is Asian. They're like, no, he's majority white. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not what I'm getting when I'm looking at him. My eyeballs are not lying to me. Come on, man. It's like, I swear it's a duck, okay, but it looks like an alligator. No, it's a duck. It still looks like an alligator. No, I promise it's a duck. Well, I don't believe you, sir. I don't believe you. That thing's got teeth. That thing's an alligator. That's an Asian dude, okay? Can't sell it to me. Ghostly, they run Islamic ads on Christian YouTube videos. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. Google is really biased against God. The company that I used to work for before I became a chaplain, their website has a lot of Bible references on it. On the pages, it's not directly, because it's like an online shop to buy road repair products, but there's little quotes here and there all over the website from the Bible. And it's because, you know, they're Bible-believing Christians and they felt the urge to put that onto their website. It's part of their belief and all of that stuff. And I helped them design their website, and so they, you know, gave me what they wanted to add, and I added it in, and they critiqued it, and we fixed it till we got it where we liked it. Then we went to run Google Ads, and they were saying that the website was inappropriate. It had inappropriate content attached to it. Literally pothole filler products. That's all it was, is road repair products. That's all it was. But then there's little spots of scripture. And they're like, nope, it has inappropriate content. It's not fit for Google Ads. Until this day, they still cannot run Google Ads. They're against God. They're not about that over there at Google. They do not like that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that they're running Islamic ads on Christian channels. Let's see. Speedy Girl, when my husband and I first watched you and saw the dreads and you were putting beats to the protest, that was it. Been hooked ever since. Really miss the dreads, but it's cool watching you grow. Well, I appreciate you, Speedy Girl. Thank you. You and your husband, you guys are awesome. It's been a long time since then. I still got the dreads in a bag over here like a serial killer. I don't know. I'll get rid of them at some point. Just read through the chat really quick before we move on to the next video here. I appreciate you, Patriot Polywog. My FOMO. I hate this place. I know. It's all fake. Everything is so fake. And a lot of people like it. A lot of people like that fake stuff. They just eat it up. Tell me what to think. Tell me what to feel. Tell me what to say. Tell me what to do. But don't make it look like you're telling me what to do. They love it. Serum, I'm both. I'm both. Keep my bases covered. DeRosa Obama's majority white. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not good at this game, apparently. Mr. Beansy Beans, did you hear about Oprah and The Rock donating and asking for donations in Maui? I did, and I meant to add that onto the schedule today, and I totally forgot. I had to go look for... Maybe I saved a video. I seen it on TikTok, and I was going to look for a YouTube video, and I spaced it out. And then I don't think I saved the video. Well, we'll just talk about it. Yeah, Oprah and The Rock made advertisement. They both posted the same video, or very similar videos, and then they're also running ads on the videos. And Oprah and The Rock, they're standing next to each other or whatever, talking to the camera saying, we donated $10 million and you should donate too, and all this stuff. And everybody in the comments is like, what are you talking about? I can't afford groceries. I can't afford rent. I'm looking for a house. Like, I have my own problems. I'm sorry about what's going on in Maui, but I can't donate money. I need money donated to me as it is. And the whole comment section is like that. And normally you wouldn't see that. Normally you would see people just sucking up on those nuggets. Just sucking up as hard as they could. Leaving hickeys on the nuggets. Just like, oh yeah, here's my last $10. I thought about feeding my child, but instead I'll just give it to you. Normally we would see stuff like that, but I think because we've been getting hate banged by the government for the last 3 years, I think people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And they're like, you want me to donate? I'm not well off to do that. I can't donate. I couldn't buy a cheeseburger today if I had to. And people are like, I can't do it. So I guess on the Rock side, from when I had watched the video last night, now these numbers are probably different now, but at that point from last night, the Rock's video claimed to have raised like $4,000 in donations. It has millions of views, but they only raised $4,000 in donations. And then Oprah's video has like $5,000 in donations. Again, millions of views, millions of people had seen the video, commented, liked, all that stuff. Oprah and The Rock together couldn't generate $10,000 worth of donations from their viewers because people do not have it. They don't have it to give. I think everybody feels for Maui and what those people are going through. Never really seen devastation like that. I mean, it is very specific, the areas that are burned. I see why people say it's lasers. It looks like it was laser etched into the land. Like they just removed the property that they wanted to, and they left the properties that belong to Oprah and all the other elite people. Those properties are fine. Everyone else, they just got burned out of the spot. Anybody who got forgotten that was supposed to get burned away, they're all being evicted now. So nobody's allowed there unless you're an elite, pretty much. So, and I can see why people think it's lasers and all that. But now they're asking what people are referring to as common folk, which is us, asking us for dollars while you got enough money to buy everybody a new house there. People are realizing that doesn't make sense, and they're not with it. They are not with it. People are standing against it. They're talking about canceling Oprah. I like to hear it. I like to hear it. It sounds like a good idea. We should get on that. Mr. Beans and Beans, they're pieces of shit. They are. They are. Tom, nothing like two billionaires asking for money. Yeah. And it is rubbing people the wrong way. And I'm kind of happy to see it. Because that means these normies are waking up. People are waking up to what's going on. They're over it. They're over it. It's easier to fool people when they're not suffering. When they're just, you know, head in the clouds. Just take their hand. Hey, come this way, buddy. I got you. Lead them down the path. It's a lot easier when their heads are in the clouds. When they're suffering, when their eyes on the bank account and they're like, yo, I'm not making enough money and I'm working 60 hours a week. I can't work anymore, but I still can't afford anything. What the hell do I do? And the Rock comes by like, hey, buddy, you wanna donate a couple bucks? No. No, I don't. I don't. I'm trying to donate my own money to my own bank account, damn it. So, I don't know. I'm glad to see people waking up, and I feel bad for those people in Maui, but nobody's doing good except for the elite. And that's some bold shit for them to come and ask everybody like us for money. Ask regular people for money. I believe anybody who had money to give to support Maui has already done so and did not need Oprah and The Rock to tell them to do it. If they had the money to donate, I believe they did. People know what's going on. People see how devastating it is. I don't know. That's what I think. And I just received a questionnaire from the NRCC, and of course they want a donation. What is the NRCC? National Republican Congressional Committee. I don't think I've ever got mail like that. Yeah. Those elite people, they got plenty of money. People campaigning to be in government to take our tax dollars and misuse them. Donate before we get there. I don't know. I don't know about that. Alice, I don't like to donate. I don't know where or how it's being used. I prefer to volunteer locally, hands-on. Yeah, there's a lot of those I don't know what to even call it, like charity groups that I think to be a non-profit, 40% of your profit has to go to charity or something. It's not all of it. Those charity groups are not what they seem. Like, you always see advertisement for donate to Red Cross, but I guess donating to Red Cross is like useless. Like 2% of their profit actually goes into charity. The rest just pays for Red Cross. It just pays for the blankets that they hand to the border crossers. We're just buying border crosser blankets. That's all we're doing. I don't know. I've heard a lot of that stuff, and because you guys just reminded me, Oprah started some sort of charity group specifically for Maui. So although she claims that she donated $10 million to Maui, she's asking you to donate through her charity group, where only 40% or so is actually going to be donated to Maui. So she donated $10 million. She wants you to donate. You're going to end up paying her back for her donation on top of it being a tax write-off. So it's, I don't know. Just know what you're donating to. If you decide to go that route, look into it, because there's a bunch of tricky stuff with charity. People grift charity hardcore. Lots of charity. I bet more than half of charity stuff out there is just a grift. That ain't real. DeRosa, 10% to the big girl. Yep. And people are talking about canceling Oprah, and I don't know if that's going to happen, but people weren't saying that about The Rock, though. And he's in on it, too. And I don't know why they don't want to cancel The Rock. They must love The Rock, I guess. I think he's a phony jabroni, but either way, we're going to move forward to this next video title. This is a Ted Nugent video. This is an embarrassing time in America. They talk about a plethora of subjects here. Nothing real specific that I can think of off the top of my head, but I know you guys love seeing Motor City Madman. So as soon as I seen Ted Nugent was a part of it, I screened it to make sure that YouTube could handle it. It wasn't too spicy for those communist guidelines, and I think we'll be alright. So let's get her started.
In Joe Biden's America, not only is there rampant crime, but the Democrats are weaponizing tragedy to push gun control. Also, in Biden's America, a young boy in Colorado Springs is removed from the classroom for a Gadsden flag patch. And also in Biden's America, pornographic books can be found in children's libraries. This is the true state of Biden's America, and this is why the battle for the White House is the most important one we've seen in at least a generation. Join me now to break it all down. Musician, outdoorsman, my friend, Motor City Madman, friend of the show, Ted Nugent. Ted, I love having you. I appreciate your time. You're a very busy man. Last night we had a young man on. His name was Jaden. He didn't want us to use his last name. He got thrown out of a classroom because he was wearing the Gadsden patch. Listen how he described his Gadsden patch, and he was wearing a patch defending the Second Amendment. Listen.
Originally, I had Pac-Man ghosts and other patches that had guns, firearms, which shouldn't be offensive. I mean, it's the First Amendment, freedom of speech and whatnot.
Well, you know, let me work with you here, my friend. I love you. I love what you're doing here. You're right. It's the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. You are simply promoting your own beliefs. Your right to free speech. Your right to keep and bear arms. It's in our Constitution. You, my friend, are 100% correct. Ted, they want to groom our kids in school. They don't want parents to know. And now they want to take our God-given constitutional rights away at the same time. Sir.
Well, a ditto to you, Eric, and to that young man, you know, self-evident truth. It isn't just his belief system. It is the self-evident truth. You know, it's written in stone. It's written in our instincts. What a glorious celebration that young man represents, that in spite of the American anti-education system, his instincts glow wildly with self-evident truth. Yeah, the First Amendment, the king wouldn't let us do certain things, so we wrote down what we knew instinctively that God gave us the right to do. It's called the First Amendment, all four of them. And then the Second Amendment is also something the king wouldn't let us do, so we wrote it down so in case somebody wanted to play king or tyrant or dictator or slave driver again in the future, Joe Biden. So this kid must listen to Ted Nugent music, and if not, I'm going to send him a flag. I will not comply. Come and take it, and don't Ted on me. So what a great moment this is that the young man gets it in spite of the anti-education system.
I was in high school, Motor City Madman, Stranglehold. I won't name some of the other ones. They may not like that. Some of the I grew up listening to Ted Nugent too, and maybe that's why I am so protective of the Constitution and patriotic and love America. Maybe because of Ted Nugent. You know what else happened last night, Ted? We had a young man on. His name is Reverend John Amanchukwu. He's a pastor. He went to a Florida school and started reading from a book that was available in 9- and 10-year-olds' classrooms. Listen.
Sir, I will stop you there, and then we will continue.
You stop rubbing circles on my stomach.
Stop you there, please.
Instead, you rub back and forth, gently along my waist. Your pinky made its way under the top of my panties,
sir,
and rolled back and forth from hip to hip.
I'll ask you to leave. Thank you.
So, Ted, they removed that pastor. Here's the bottom line. Grown-ass adults were listening to it, and they said, we can't have you reading those words. They're too explicit. They're too sexualized.
He said grown-ass adults.
For the kids, but they had those books in the classrooms for the kids. It's happening all over the country.
Well, Eric, once again, you know, I listen to Truth, Logic, and Common Sense from you, and there's a few pundits out there. But I just wrapped up the greatest tour of my life, and I met with great families every night. So what Eric Bolling represents, and again, it's not a hunch, it's not a presumption, it's not guesswork, it's self-evident truth. And what you and I represent, when a man is not allowed to read for adults what the monsters in our education system force down the throats of children, and then they're going to have an argument whether men can get pregnant and whether the border is secure. I think it's ultimately summarized, Eric, with the heroes of the military that I meet with every day, that this man in the White House, Joe Biden, actually thinks, or anybody else thinks, he's the commander-in-chief of the greatest warrior military in the world. This is an embarrassing time, and that's just another manifestation of cultural deprivation and abandonment. But you stay on course, Eric, because I'm about to have the greatest hunting season of my life, and truth, logic, and common sense is alive and well out there.
You know, Ted, very quickly, I have a few seconds here, but it seems like they want to make school a safe. Schools used to be a safe space, safe place for kids. Now they want to make it a safe place for teachers to groom kids to do whatever they want with them without parents knowing. Quick thought?
Well, my quick thought is when I was growing up, I wish somebody would have tried that with me and my dad. Boy, it would have been a lot less civil than that confrontation we just saw. Again, goodwill and decency, morality is alive and well, even in the world of the author of Wang Dang Sweet Poontang. I'm a great father. I'm a great husband. I'm a great grandfather. I'm a great work ethic guy. And the people that I'm surrounded with, we celebrate the same things that you drive home every day. So, Eric, stay on course. We are not alone. We just got to get past the satanic gang that controls everything out there.
Got to stay with our Ted Nugent philosophy. Best thoughts and prayers go out to the dog, Happy, who is going through some surgery. Hope Happy's okay, Ted. I really appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you for joining me.
Back at you, Eric. God bless, Godspeed, man. God bless real America.
God bless real America. Absolutely. He said, these are grown-ass adults. Can't even listen to the books that they're trying to sell to 10-year-olds in the libraries of schools. And I don't know if you guys could hear what that, I think it was a pastor, what he was reading while in front of the board there, and they were talking over him. But the things that he was reading, although it wasn't too explicit, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to show it on YouTube, it was too explicit for a 10-year-old. To talk about caressing and touching private areas and stuff like that, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate for kids. I shouldn't even have to say that. But to have grown-ass adults, as the reporter on Newsmax said, they can't even handle it, to say that that content is not appropriate at a school board meeting, well, then it shouldn't be appropriate for a kid's library. I mean, it's too obvious. It's too obvious. Zero, I'm worried for our grandkids. Me too. Me too. Because kids right now, they're just in the doorway of what's coming. If things don't change, we're heading into a weird era where people are lost. More lost than they've ever been. They don't even know what species they are. They don't know nothing. They know nothing. And they live in a delusional state where they feel if they pretend long enough that this will just be their life from here on out. It's going to be really hard to pretend to be a dog and shit in a litter box when you're 65 years old. You're not going to want to do it. Your knees and back's going to be all snapping and popping. The dogs are looking at you like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you ain't gonna be able to pull it off. We are what we are. We are the way that God made us. And no matter how delusional you are, you will still be the way that God made you. No amount of surgery or meat flaps that you attach to your body is gonna change that. You're just disfiguring yourself. That's all you're doing. They need mental help. That's what they need. They don't need to be enabled. These bad people do not need to be enabled. They're not all bad people, but they're all lost people. They do not need to be enabled. Do not pretend you hear the voices just because they say they have schizophrenia. You don't go, oh, I can hear him too. You don't just start enabling these people. You go, dang, son, you need some help. Let me help you out. Let me send you to a professional. Like, I don't know. But it's all about the kids. They want to groom the kids. Now think 20 years from now. Like, our kids will be, grown adults. They will have made their own decisions. But then our grandkids, they'll be even more lost. Almost every day we talk about how we grew up being told, don't tell private information on the internet. Don't say your name, don't say your location, don't say any of this stuff. We grew up in that time. But somewhere along the line, that kind of training stopped. And so people 20-year-olds and down were not taught that. So they put all their real information out there on the internet. They believe everything on the internet. And now look at how things are going. Shitting in litter boxes. Trying to go into the other bathrooms. Playing other sports. Dress up all weird and do a whole bunch of pretending and stuff. And then make other people treat you according to your own delusions. The hell is wrong with you? You weren't raised right, obviously. You're living like that, you weren't raised right. Your parents failed you. The school absolutely failed you. The school is failing everyone right now. It's no good. It's no good. Rappy. Stop grooming our kids and leave the kids alone. Absolutely. You know things are messed up when you say leave the kids alone and that's considered hate speech? That we're living in bad times. We're living in bad times right now. But I don't think it's too late. We could turn it. Everything could turn around. Until we're speaking Mandarin, I still have hope. Picture Pollywog, kids don't get to be kids anymore. They don't, and they don't even realize it because they see phones, they see the whole internet, they learn everything and see everything at a very young age, and you know, anything you type into the phone, it's going to show you, good and bad and otherwise. And it's like their brains are maturing faster than their body is. And then you end up with the weirdos that we got now, wearing wigs and makeup and dudes in dresses and all this other stuff going on. DCAT, this is just the government trying to dumb down the population so they can stay in control and keep banging us for our tax money. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, because with these devices we have, the internet connection, the technology, we should be better off than we ever have been. We can communicate to each other. We can mass communicate with each other. We can organize for good things. We could stand together. We could make decisions instead of letting the government make decisions for us. We have more opportunity now than ever to stand together united and get shit done for what's best for all of us here in the country. And we don't. We use the internet to troll each other, to talk shit to each other, to try and make each other feel bad, to create new reasons to be divisive, to say I like this football team more than you do, to say that I like my football team and I hate your football team, to say I'm choosing a side and if you don't choose the same side as me, you must be against me. That's all we use it for. Prop ourselves up and kick everybody else's towers over. And if we really hate ourselves, we'll convince all of our comrades to go and mass report other channels and content and all this other. It's just hate. We just use it for hate. Let that hate in your heart out on the internet. It's no good. It's no good. It doesn't have to be this way. I believe if our forefathers had the technology we have now, we probably would have turned more than just America. We probably could have converted whole continents into being as free as we are, or as we were at the time. It would have been more than what we have now, because they got it done. They got the job done with way less resources than we have now. And so we're at an opportune time more than ever to unite, and instead we're scrolling through TikTok videos and thinking of the next hate comment you can post under somebody else's content to make them feel bad about themselves. I don't know. Bunch of know-it-alls placing our comments on each other. It's stupid. It's so stupid. Alice, your gender, your race, your sexuality is not a thing to be proud of. You should be proud of the things you accomplish, hobbies, travel, helping, giving back to the world, etc. I agree. I agree. DeRosa, you're just like all by yourself over here. Oh, there's Tom Star. What's up, Tom Star? People watch on Kick, but people don't chat. I don't know what that's about. But I appreciate you, DeRosa. Real life NPCs. Yeah. That's what we're dealing with. That's why everything's so fake. We just had a couple trolls on Rumble. You know we're getting big if we got trolls on Rumble. They're probably trolling on YouTube, but I don't read the chat very much, so they probably weren't getting the job done. They had to come to Rumble just to catch a band hammer in the face, like Paul Pelosi. Let's read through chat really quick before we move forward. Daryl, I still identify as a toaster. That's what I used to call the shapeshifters. when they were, I guess they ain't never been a new thing, but when it started becoming popular, like 2021 or something like that, I used to just call them toasters, and then I came up with shapeshifter, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the way to go from here. Elisa, thank you for letting me know. Us hooligans, we stick together. What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? Appreciate you joining the live. Yep, we're still live. We got 2 more videos left. We're going to move on to this next one. It's titled Biden Ripped for Forgetting East Palestine Residents, saying, I don't have hope anymore. That's a tough situation over in East Palestine because they are absolutely forgotten. I think most of America's forgotten what happened. Most Americans' attention span for this kind of stuff is about 2 weeks. You got about 2 weeks of attention. Then after that, we got so many more distractions that we forgot about your problem over there. That's what happens. You know, when you got a goddamn catastrophe every 3 days. That's what happens. So, I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. This person, I don't remember his name, but he's a doctor of some sort. Since the beginning, since it happened, he was interviewed at Fox. This is like his 3rd or 4th time being on Fox. This is one of the people that released videos where they were showing the river or the creek or whatever, and they were taking a stick and like pushing it in the ground, and then you'd see like this oil color come up, like a rainbow color come up out of the ground. They're saying that still is happening, and now that there's construction and stuff, it's getting even worse. No one's coming there to help. Everyone is saying that everything's good to go. Old man Walter still hasn't been to Ohio. It's messed up. It is messed up. Let's get it started, hooligans.
The president has really been forced to defend his administration's disaster response after the hurricane and the Maui wildfires. Here's what he's saying.
How can we not respond? My God, how can we not respond to these needs? And so I'm confident, even though there's a lot of talk from some of our friends up on the Hill about the cost, we got to do it. This is the United States of America.
But remember when the president also said he'd visit East Palestine after the train derailment created an environmental disaster. That was 183 days ago, and he still hasn't stepped foot in the town. East Palestine, Ohio resident Rick Chai joins us now. Rick, good morning. Thank you for getting up early on this Friday, but we wanted to check in with the folks like yourself on the ground in the situation there. But let me start with, if you could give President Biden a grade on his response to natural disasters like the one there in East Palestine, what grade would you give him?
Good question. It's hard to give somebody a grade on a job they didn't even start. He hasn't been here, so it's hard to give him a grade.
And if you look at sort of his response to not only East Palestine or the lack thereof, but also with the wildfires and now Hurricane Idalia, how do you assess his leadership on this?
Either he's being lied to about our town or he doesn't know what's going on here. Our waterways are still horribly contaminated. I don't have hope anymore. I just think we are forgotten. There's chemicals all through our creek beds, the banks and the soil. You just walk into the creek or poke into the bank and chemicals just ooze out. There was just a recent fish kill about 2 weeks ago as well, when they knocked the bridge down to replace a little bridge in the park. A lot of chemicals released, and we have that all on film, and all the fish and wildlife and crayfish died as a result of knocking that bridge down.
So that's a significant statement you're saying there. So the situation just 2 days ago, a fish kill, what is the contamination status? Like, explain for us what the situation is on the ground right now.
That was 2 weeks ago. I've been filming in the creeks for 6 months, either daily or 2 to 3 times a week. Not much has changed here. Everything is still highly contaminated here. I don't know what's going on.
And Rick,
in terms of the response.
Are you seeing, in terms of response, are you seeing federal officials regularly there working on things? Are you seeing them engaged in the contamination you're seeing?
Very quickly, one example, when they knocked the bridge down to replace the bridge, I knew they were going to release chemicals because I was underneath the bridge the day before, hitting the soil, and chemicals were just oozing out. When they knocked the bridge down, there was such a massive release of chemicals, and I filmed it. The EPA denied they saw any chemicals in our local paper. I held the paper the next day as I was filming, walking through the creek as chemicals and dead fish are at my feet. So I'm not sure if the government agencies are lying to us and probably the president. I'm not sure. But there's been no federal help from the president on any kind of cleanup or assistance to residents who may want to leave this place.
Well, there's a cleanup hearing set for September 22nd in just 21 days in East Palestine. What do you want the people at the hearing to know?
I don't know anything about this hearing. I'd love to be there. I'd love to show them my videos. I'd like him to take whoever's doing this hearing right down to the creek and show them. I want people to know, people across the world, that maybe because we're such a small town, we're easy not to have the limelight, and we don't get a lot of voice on media. And thank you, Fox, for having us. But it's still very bad here. And they're kind of getting away with it.
Well, Rick,
and if anybody,
we're giving
East
you
Palestine
voice.
Off the Rails, our Facebook group, if you want to see some of the news here.
All right, Rick Chai, thank you for speaking out. We will continue to follow this and get that information to you as well on the hearing we understand is set for September 22nd. Rick, have a good weekend.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
Well, the chemistry between the reporter and the East Palestine resident is terrible. Their back and forth was pretty terrible and hard to listen to. But you guys probably recognize that guy. We've covered, I think, every time he's been on Fox. He's been on Fox 2 or 3 times now for obviously the same thing. I don't like when they talk over each other. Like, you couldn't hear the group that they created to try and help the people of East Palestine because they were talking over each other. But they're forgotten. They're forgotten. Old man Walter said he was going to go out there, never has. Never will. Never go to Ohio. They act like it's just going to fix itself. And like he had mentioned, they're replacing a bridge. They took the bridge down. It released chemicals. You could see chemicals come to the surface of the water. He documented it. The people that worked on the bridge claimed that everything was fine, that there was no chemical release when the bridge was replaced. It's all a cover-up. They're just going to sweep it under the rug. People who are sick will eventually kick the bucket. New people will move to town. Questions will be asked. Answers will be lost. And eventually people will forget that this ever happened. And people will continue to get sick and have issues. Crops will die. Dogs and cats and pets and livestock will probably get sick. Nobody will know why. Forgot about what had happened with the train derailment. They'll just blame it on other things. They'll blame you. They'll say it's your fault that your dog is sick all the time. It's your fault that your hair's falling out. It's your fault that your kids are sick. It's your fault that your drinking water's contaminated. And that'll be it. That'll be it. It'll be swept under the rug. They'll act like it never happened. There's no accountability at all. It's up to us to hold people accountable, and we can't stay united long enough to even make that happen. Chris, two-headed frogs. I mean, that'd probably be the least of the worries that's going on there, but it would be something. At least that guy's documenting it, and hopefully he goes to the meeting that they were talking about and displays this stuff, because it kind of feels like a similar situation to 2020. You know, there's lots of suspicion, there's lots of things that aren't adding up, got evidence of some wrongdoing going on. Anytime you talk about it or you bring it up, nah, we don't want to talk about that. Just sweep that under the rug over there. Just forget about it until everyone forgets about it. It's the same kind of thing. They don't want to fix it. They want people to forget that it ever happened so they can keep doing it. It's no good. I'm waiting to see what the next disaster is. Maui went down. Florida just went down yesterday or the day before. What's next? What's the next area going to be hit? California was hit. California had a hurricane a couple days before Maui. What's next? We're going to have earthquakes in Michigan? I don't know. It's no good. Chris, extra frog legs, however, would be a plus. I don't know if it'd be good to eat deformed frog legs. You might get 4 legs off of a frog, but I don't know what kind of cancer that's going to give you eating that. Serum, I actually can't talk about that. What the planes do in the sky, leaving the lines and all that, I can't actually talk about that. They claim that's not real, but you can't talk about it. What's really funny is, as much as they deny the trails, maybe I can say that, we'll see, I'm pushing it. As much as they deny that, in like the 80s or something, they had a program to like fix the ozone layer or something like that, and that's when it all started. And now they deny that it's even happening, but it's actually a part of a program that is painted up to look like it's some sort of science to fix the ozone layer or something, but really they're dropping heavy metals on everyone. Alice, is this the weather weapon conspiracy? There's actually like 2 different weather weapon things. Because there's what is the one, HARP or whatever? It's a facility out near California that has like electric rods standing in the ground that point up towards the sky and all that stuff. And you can even watch on the Weather Channel when the weather, like clouds get over this HARP facility, they just part. They do not go directly over the facility ever because of whatever's going on there. Even the weather doesn't want to go near it. That's one thing. The other one that's really popular right now is the DEW. I don't remember what the D is, but it's like electric weaponry, using satellites and stuff like that to project lasers and whatever. And that's also what Project Bluebeam is. It's very similar right there, using satellites to either project images to create mass fear of a third-party threat, or to project lasers to be used as weapons. There's also, what do they call, like the Rod of God, where they drop uranium rods from satellites, and when they hit the ground, it doesn't make a very loud sound, but it puts radiation in a huge area without the fire and destruction. It's like a dry nuclear weapon or something like that, but I don't know. These are all things that are very difficult to try and put a finger on. That's what I've been hearing, though. Destiny, Dew, and HARP, yeah. Skybear, they're destroying U.S. from all points. They are. They're burning our houses down. They're evicting us. They're starving us because we can't afford food. Can't find housing. Housing is terrible right now. Stock market's on the brink of crashing. BlackRock is pulling all their money out of their stock and stuff, which they're the biggest stockholders across the board, pulling all their money out. AI is coming to get us. Cameras are watching us. Mics are listening to us. 5G is radiating our insides. If you don't turn your wiener inside out, you're a racist. It goes on and on and on. It's war at all fronts. Good versus evil. That is what's going on. DCAT, national alert. There's a tsunami coming to West Michigan. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Say Lake Michigan hit us with a tsunami. That's what's next. American woman. And then there's things that nobody knows about. True. There's things going on that we're not even aware that is going on, that probably is key parts of all of this. American woman, we literally never know the truth. Yep. It's because of the people that oversee us. Tom, thank you. Direct energy weapons. Yeah, that's what DEW is. Mr. Beans of Beans. Old Man Walter don't care about that town or any other. No, they don't. Old Man Walter doesn't care about nothing. All those people on Capitol Hill, they don't care about nothing. They wouldn't be here. You know, if like the future that they're building doesn't matter how dark the picture becomes, because they're not going to be here to live with it. Like, nobody lives forever. And they're up there in years. They create a terrible place 20 years from now, what does that matter to them? It doesn't. It just doesn't. Let's read through the chat really quick before we move on to the final video here. MD Cyron, cultural nukes before the actual nukes arrive. I believe it. We're going to spend so much time pointing fingers and hating on each other, and one day there's going to be a flash in the sky, and none of this is going to matter anymore. It just won't matter anymore. Robert, harp in Alaska and 4 total around the northern hemisphere in 3 different countries. See, I didn't realize all that. I've only heard about the harp that's in California. It doesn't surprise me that there's more than one. But I've always heard about the one in California. Or I think it's a little bit east of California. I've only seen it on a map. I've never really seen the actual location with the state outlines and all that. Norman, I wonder if China hit Hawaii as an act of don't mess with us. They had the green lasers going a month back or so. I don't know. I feel like if China hit us, I think it would be too hard for them to cover it up. I think the local like Coast Guard and all that kind of stuff that's near Maui, I feel like they would respond. Like, you know, you see one of your own go down, there's not a whole lot of orders that are going to reach that animal instinct that you're in that mode, right? You're sitting there on standby, one of your own goes down, your body goes into reaction mode, right? And everybody's like, stand down, stand down. You're not hearing it. You know what I mean? You're not hearing it. It's time to engage. I feel like something would happen that would be too hard for them to cover up. They would have to be like putting down our own military guys and stuff like that. And then they would have to cover that up too. So I don't know. I don't think China necessarily hit us or anything like that, but something happened. Something happened. I also feel like if China hit us, Oprah and The Rock and stuff, they wouldn't have went to Maui. And they could have used it as some sort of propaganda for shelter in place. Oh, we were just hit by another country. Stay in your home. Don't leave. If we catch you in the street, $1,200 fine. You better be getting essential items. Don't go to work. Here's stimulus. You know what I mean? Like, they would have been like, oh no, another country hit us. Do what we say or they're going to get you. And then we would have listened. You know, we would have complied. So I don't think that's necessarily what happened. I don't know what happened. There's weird stuff going on in Maui, but I don't think necessarily that China hit us. Raja, Elon is placing a net around the planet that won't let our souls leave. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't that what Scientology is? That they believe our souls like get caught in the atmosphere or something, and then they just come back down and inhabit a new baby or something? I have to ask Tom Cruise. I can't remember. It's something like that. It's something weird. Raja, Starlink is for control. Yeah. Well, and I think it's really interesting that they push so hard for universal internet. You hear the White House talk about that all the time. They want universal internet. Why? We got Americans that are sleeping and shitting in the streets. What do we need universal internet for? What is that going to do? So they can reach us. So they can control us. So you won't have an excuse to not follow orders or, you know, whatever's going to come down the pipeline from the internet. You know, like, people used to opt out of emails and stuff. Like applying for a job, right? You used to have to get off your ass and go into a store or a business of some sort and apply in person. Look decent. Present yourself. Be presentable. Be, you know, personable. You don't have to now. A lot of times you'll walk into a business and they go, oh yeah, you got to fill out the application online. I mean, I remember being a teenager and stuff, and, you know, my grandparents and parents and stuff, we'd go somewhere and they'd be like, oh yeah, you got to fill it out online. And my parents or grandparents, either or, they'd be like, well, I don't do that. I don't do that. Just give me the paper. I'll fill it out here. You can't do that now. Now you have to do things online. You used to be able to opt out. Now you can't, because they just expect you to have that ability. Well, as soon as they have universal internet, you won't have any excuses. We probably won't even talk to each other. It'll only be like this. We'll live in our smart homes. We'll work our jobs inside the building. We'll shop inside the building. We won't even talk to each other unless there's a screen between us. That's the future they're corralling us towards. American woman, have you seen the astronomical flooding in China right now? It's insane. Hong Kong is so screwed today. Category 5 head on. Wow, no, I haven't heard anything about any of that. I'll have to look into it. So we're going through the chat a little bit more, and we're going to move on to this last video. Oh, and then something I forgot to mention while we were covering the YouTube Communist Guideline Conditioning Training video that we watched. What they didn't mention in the training is when you catch a strike, your time, your suspension time, doesn't start until you acknowledge the strike. And I had to find that out the hard way last time. They gave me a strike. I got an email saying, hey, you got a strike. I was like, damn, I got a strike. I'll appeal it, but they're going to reject it. And I was just so heartbroken about it that I was like, I'll just deal with it tomorrow. I'm not going to deal with it today. And so then the next day I went into the YouTube studio. I clicked on the, hey, you got a strike. I'm like, yeah, I know.